Hi, this is Mr. Lonergan, and this is SAT packet number 4, problem number 9. This one was pretty tough, so let's take a look at it and see if we can figure it out. An artist makes a certain shade of green paint by mixing blue and yellow in a ratio of 3 to 4. She makes orange by mixing red and yellow in a ratio of 2 to 3. If on one day she mixes both green and orange and uses equal amounts of blue and red paints, what fractional part of the paint that she uses is yellow? This is a hard question with lots of words. It's going to take you a lot of time to figure it out. But I think it's more of a word problem than a math problem. Let's see if we can try to work on it. First, we want to look at the ratios and use those to help us figure things out. We're going to talk about green paint, and then we're going to talk about orange paint. The green she makes by mixing blue and yellow. The orange she makes by mixing red and yellow. So we're going to have a box over here that describes what's happening for blue and yellow, and a box over here that describes what's happening to red and yellow. They're related, but it doesn't have to be the same thing happening in both places. The ratio for green says it's got a ratio of 3 to 4. 3 parts of blue for every 4 parts of yellow. That means if there's 3 cups of blue paint, there's 4 cups of yellow. If there's 3 gallons of blue paint, there's 4 gallons of yellow. When she's making orange, she has a ratio from red to yellow of 2 to 3. Remember to keep them in the same order. Red comes first and yellow comes second. 2 comes first and 3 comes second. So it's a ratio of 2 to 3. So far, so good. Now comes the hard part. If on one day she mixes both green and orange and uses equal amounts of blue and red paint, the amount here and the amount here need to be the same. Now remember, this row represents the total. And we find the total by multiplying the ratio times a set number. And we want to multiply 2 by something and 3 by something else so that the total for red and blue would be the same. This is when we're dealing with fractions, the same as looking for a common denominator. And the easiest way to find the common denominator is to use the red number as your multiplier over here and use your blue number as your multiplier over here. So I'm going to do 3 times 2 to get 6 parts blue. Have to multiply it by the same scale factor over here, so it's 8 times 2, or 4 times 2, which makes 8 parts yellow. On this side, I multiply by 3. 2 times 3 gives me 6 parts red, and 3 times 3 gives me 9 parts yellow. So I've met the conditions of the problem. The same amount of blue as red. It says, what fractional part of the paint that she uses is yellow? Well, let's see. How many parts of paint did she use altogether? We want to think, what part is yellow? And divided by the total. The yellow part, we've got 2 parts that are yellow. This is yellow, and this is yellow. So we've got 8 parts plus 9 parts that are yellow, which makes 17 parts. Already I can look over at the answer and say, I must be on the right track. I see a couple places where 17 is one of my answer choices. So I'm feeling pretty good. But when I'm thinking about the total, I then need to go back and look at all the parts that I combined. I combined 6 parts blue with 8 parts yellow with 6 parts red with 9 parts yellow. And so my total is all of those pieces added together. 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 9 is 29. Woohoo! That's one of my answer choices. What fractional part of the paint that she uses is yellow? 17 out of 29 parts. So the correct best answer is choice B. Nice work.